Hi, I'm Greeshma Kuthar, and you're listening to episode 4 of Mission Manipur, a frontline podcast that looks in detail at the Manipur conflict. This episode is titled Jangna-Dop in Solidarity. Jangna-Dop. I guess this is a new word for me, as well as all those who are listening to this podcast. But this is a word that I learned this week when I attended a remembrance event to mark 22 months since the violence began in Manipur. Around 2,000 people had assembled at the meeting in Faizang village of Kangpopi district. This is a song which is played at almost all meetings and protests, and it is titled Igam Hiloham, which translates to, "Isn't this our land?" And I've been hearing this song from June of 2023. What is interesting about this song is it has many dialects in it. The Kuki comprise of many tribes, and each tribe has a distinct dialect. Igam Hiloham has the dialects of 9 different tribes, namely the Thado, Paite, Simte, Waipe, Mizo, Zo, Mar, Gangte, and Kom. So because of this combining sort of nature of the song, it has become something like a rallying song among the Kuki tribes during this crisis that has seen the death of more than 200 people from the community. The highlight of the remembrance meeting this month is Jangna-Dop. The idea of Jangna-Dop, as far as I've understood, is to help those in grief. And in this particular context, to help the families of those who've been killed during the violence. But I think the best way to understand Jangna-Dop is to speak to those who've conceptualized this initiative. After the meeting, I spoke to Naine Kim, the president of the Kuki Womens Organisation for Human Rights, and also the one who came up with the idea. Right? What I really want to understand, what I'm really interested in understanding is this thing that is Jangna-Dop. What does it mean? The word itself and the emotion associated with it. And why did the Kuki Women's Organization for Human Rights decide to do this?
Jangna-Dop na, in English we can say it as consoling those who keep on crying. Okay. In that way also we can say, but especially this Jangna-Dop is then even in our village also, when somebody died, we used to go and clothe them with our soul, and then we used to give some amount of money to help the victim family. In such a way, it is like we call in our language kanko. That is not so to say. It is also something related with our custom and culture also. In our custom and culture, someone who is in mourn, someone who is suffering in different kinds of violence or something,
You reach out to them.
to reach out to them, to console them, we are organizing this Jangna-Dop project. Somebody used to think that it is like ex gratia, but it is very much totally different from ex gratia. When we speak about ex gratia, say like the government used to give the people who were shot dead during the violence, they have given them ex gratia, not that ex gratia. Ex gratia means to say sorry to the person whom we have killed, so we have given them ex gratia. That ex gratia in our language we call longman. Okay. But this Jangna-Dop project is not same with ex gratia. The Kuki Women Organization for Human Rights started organizing this Jang-dop project because as the violence started in Manipur, as we all have known, we cannot reach out together. Some people are living in Sadar Hills, we are in different districts surrounding the Imphal Valley. So we cannot reach out to the person who is died. Say like those who died in Kangpopi, we really mourn their death. We really cried and mourn for them. But we cannot come and console the family.
All the way from Churchandpur.
All the way from Churchandpur. Not only from Churchandpur, even from the city branches like Delhi, Mumbai, those Chennai, Pune, wherever, Ernakulam. With the Kuki women, we are all around in India. We want to do something, but we cannot make a platform. If somebody want to help, say like 10,000 from Delhi, one woman should give to one family. That will not make anything sense. That will make no sense at all. So that is why I started organizing this.
So can you tell me a little bit about? So I understand that it is in solidarity with victim families, right? But what did you really do under this? Like, what all? I mean, I saw today that you all have given a certain amount of money, to victim families. So how did you come together and raise that money?
Okay. Thank you so much for the question. Yeah. Every woman in one household, say like in a family, there may be 2-3 ladies or women, but in one household, we choose only one person to donate 100. Per a family, one woman has to donate 100 each, and then those monies will collected by the different women organizations from different states, different districts, different cities, different countries, even from Singapore, USA, and all, wherever the Kuki women were there, they collected those money and they have sent to our organization. And from there on, we have given one family 1 lakh and one soul to cover the dead body, even though there are no more there, and then one memento, which is
in remembrance of the people who have passed away.
And then, as you have seen in the memento, we wrote how they were killed and where they were killed and at what time they were killed, along with the photographs. That is what we are giving, and that is the way how we contribute.
How many victims have you been able to provide this support to, ma'am? Total number of people from this is your 5th phase, I understand.
Yeah.
Totally, how many people have you covered? How many families have you
reached out?
Yeah.
In the first phase, we have contributed only 12 lakhs. So we have given away 12 family victims, and then in the second phase it comes up to 16 lakhs, and then we have given to 16 people, and then in the third phase it come up to 20 lakhs. We have given 20 families, and then in the fourth phase we have given away 26 families. By this time we have given 31. So I think total number of the reach out family is 104.
I hope after listening to Naine Kim, you've understood the scale of this initiative. Collecting money from door to door, and that too only from women, is no mean feat. I spoke to many people about what supporting this initiative means to them. But I think all of you should listen to what Nejo has to say about how these women made Jangna-Dop possible.
The women organizations that felt the need to extend help, especially towards the victim families, because as we know that the government has not really reached out to any of these victims, maybe some, but not all, and it has been very difficult, for the victim families, like some who are still now in the relief centers, and some may have felt forgotten as well, like since so many things are happening around, at the same time. So it was this women, the cohort, who initiated this whole project and this whole program to show our solidarity to these victims, and they started mobilizing funds for it, so that everybody can share in the burden of the pain of losing, because the victim families are, in comparison to the entire population, is much lesser, right? So then what they're going through, not all of us are going through that same loss and pain. So in order to say that we share in the burden of their loss, they started mobilizing to all the women, from every village, from every church, and to pay a certain amount, like about 100 rupees to any number that they want. So the minimum should be 100 rupees every month, and they can pay even more than that out of their pockets. There's no limit to how much they can pay. So that is how they started mobilizing from women, Kukizo women all over Manipur. Not only in Manipur, all over India, they've gone mobilizing to different cities, and also they've reached out to our sisters or our mothers who are settled abroad. in many places. So then through these funds, through the collection of these funds, they've been handing out a certain set amount to each of these victim families.
In different stages.
In different stages. So what we had today was the 5th stage. So the collection is done by them, and the distribution is again carried out by these women. And also we know that we all have accepted that whoever has died, in the initial stages have really laid down their lives. Why? Because not any fault of theirs, but just because of the fact that they are a Kuki. And so now that this organization, our organization, has initiated this project, it is, in a way, it has brought us all together with a new meaning, not only for us but also for them. We're doing something meaningfully, which we hopefully touch the hearts of these, the families of these victims. So I'm sure, they would have felt, a sense of reassurance and a sense of being loved and not being forgotten.
Do you think such initiatives, like going into the coming months, considering, it still feels like the same? There is president's rule, yes, but it still feels like everything is stagnant. Do you feel like such initiatives by civil society organizations regularly have to be in place? And is that what the KWOHR plans to ensure that the duration of the violence or the duration of this entire process, people who are really affected and people who are vulnerable feel heard?
Yeah, what we've given out is just 50%, of the victims. We are yet to cover another 50% because we have 200 plus people who have died in this conflict. And I think that despite PR, despite whatever the government is planning, there's no addressing of any issue in a specific way, like opening of the road and all that. Without addressing any issue, like what is the point of opening up the road, the national highway? And so many of these other things, only if issues are addressed one by one, then we can think of, rebuilding lives or, moving forward. Right now, things are just the same. It's just that there are no active firings, there are no active killings, right now. But we have not really moved on. We are at that stagnant stage. And, mobilizing funds for these victims cannot stop just because there is a PR. Even if issues are addressed, I think we need to cover all the victims, in this violence. Because we've done half, we'll cover the rest as well. Because this is we feel that this is our, I don't know if to call it a moral obligation or whatever, but then I think we are obliged, to address, to at least show our support. PR doesn't address anything, we still need to do it. If, as we have done for the 50%, we still need to cover the 50% because even they need equal support from us. They need it as much as, the ones we have given away to. So I think we will not stop until and this project will not stop until and unless all the victims are covered.
As a reporter who has been here since the beginning, I've seen families being torn apart because of the violence. The song that I played at the beginning of the episode, Igam Hilo Hum, that song was composed by this popular songwriter called Mangboy Lungdim. Though his song is now being performed by people everywhere, Mangboy was himself killed in the violence in 2023. He is survived by his wife, who is now a single mother to 5 children and is struggling to make ends meet, much like many other families who've lost their loved ones to the violence. Naine Kim and her team's hope in that sense that the monetary help they are trying to provide will be of some help to these families needs to be appreciated and acknowledged. What I'm going to speak about next retains the spirit of Jangna-Dop, but with this group, which is also a woman-led group, the support is mostly for families that are displaced due to the violence and are now living in relief camps spread across Imphal Valley. What you just heard is the sound of looms being used by a group of women weavers that I recorded at a relief camp in Moirang. The relief camp itself is in a dilapidated condition, but these women have been working tirelessly every day, hoping that the little money they make out of weaving will go into supporting the needs of their children. This is the only source of income that the families of these women have now. The looms were provided to them by a women's collective called ETA Northeast, who've been working at the relief camp from the beginning. ETA Northeast is a group of working women professionals that came together in 2019. The objective initially was to create a common platform for women in the Northeast to come together and help each other. But now, ETA's work has been focused on responding to the violence in Manipur. They've been working quietly in Imphal Valley since 2023, and in fact, within days of the breakout of the violence on May 3rd, ETA was the first organization to present a memorandum suggesting that the only way to stop the violence is to form a peace committee immediately. They wanted this committee to be an all-woman committee comprising of 4 women from the Kukizo community and 4 women from the Meitei community. Nothing came out of it, but since May, ETA has been working mainly focusing on providing trauma counseling along with creating some form of income generation among the displaced. I traveled to some of the camps along with ETA members to understand how they are doing this. Here is a small portion from a discussion with the displaced at a camp in Bishnupur district, which was facilitated by ETA Secretary Biju. कितने महीने से आप ये कपड़ा बना रहे हो?
एक साल आप लोग इतना आ रहे हैं ना बिजू इसे थोड़े उन लोग ने कपड़ा इतना ग्रुप ने धागा दिया है कपड़ा बनाने के लिए वो धागा दिया और मशीन हैंडलूम वगैरह दिया और कपड़ा उस टाइम पे कपड़ा बनाने
और लोन भी दिया ये याद कर रहे जीरो इंटरेस्ट में लोन भी प्रोवाइड करते हैं.
So the loan is like for towards any particular need.
Those who are properly working earning.
You mean from the loan?
Yes, those who are working, who are beneficiaries of ITA. So from this relief camp, 10 of them have got just minimum 10,000. This is sponsored by our chairperson only.
So if there is a need, any particular need, and they ask you for a loan, you give them a loan.
Yeah, they started that loan after we've seen their consistent work and all. We started providing loan in zero interest, so they will return 1,000 per month at the time they are ready.
Okay.
And we'll increase the number. It's 11, 12, 13 like that.
Okay.
So this zero microfinance, we started since 2020 in Hills part and all. We started that.
Even before the violence
Yes,
started.
before the violence, not in relief camp, but in relief camp we started from this relief camp only, because we have seen them consistently working and like dedicated to their work. And we have this very much of trust relationship with them.
But I mean, do you think like because there is no source of regular income,
Yeah,
these
they are
kind of
facing lots
loans?
of problem. Yeah, and even if we provide the looms and all that, their needs are. This will not. This is not sufficient for like with all the children going to the schools and all that. And initial time only we provide loom, yarn for the initial startup, and again after we ask them to roll them and continue their business. And if they want to expand their production, we provide this loan again so that they will double their production.
Right. But why did ETA decide that this kind of one kind of self-employment is important? Like in a relief camp, why did you all decide to initiate this?
So since the initial time when the violence broke out, our main focus was not providing any relief material. We started with providing relief material. We distribute mosquito net, children foods and all that nutritious product. But that was just to intervene. And we did a survey and we looked for a long-term sustainable solution for the relief camp people. And with our chairperson, Sophia, and she decided that she feels that livelihood is the only long-term sustainable solution for such humanitarian crisis. That is the only way, because how much the government provide or how much we give something to eat or some food, that's not going to suffice their need. Making them potentials to earn money, and this will help them to navigate this crisis also, and this help them to build a resilience among them, like to start something of their own rather than just depending on the government or the people who provide something. This is our main
Rehabilitation
focus. Yes,
sort
main
of
focus for ITA, that to give them, to make them to make them independent. This has been to empower them.
In the independency of the crisis, so that they have some source of income.
Some source of income, not just while in the relief camp, but at the time they would return to their home also. We want them to have some source of income that will make them to be able to live by their own, even after this crisis also, because we've seen most of them who have come to the relief camp, who have been the victims of this crisis, are not well-to-do family. They're not having their source of livelihood. So giving them livelihood is not
Which
just
means
for
even
the short time.
before, they were like mostly working class families.
Yes, working class family. And even if they have a lot of income earlier, all the venues got shut down. Not all are working class. There are people who have a very well-off family. Okay. They have their business running very from a very good background. They have a lot of setup there, and they have lost everything now. So anyhow, if they return home also, they have to start again. So to have one livelihood is essential. I think.
That kind of gives us perspective on how social workers are thinking long term when it comes to their work with the displaced. This is crucial as, in spite of all the political talk about free movement and whatnot, the reality is that the possibility of families going back to live where they belong still seems a distant reality. I interviewed ITA's founder, Sophia Rajkumari, to understand her perspective about this, along with trying to understand the work of ITA. I think listening to the experience of such organizations, be it ITA or Kuki Womens Organization for Human Rights, is what is most important, as these are the people who've been tirelessly working and are in a much better place to help us understand the needs of the most vulnerable in Manipur right now.
So when the violence broke out, we kind of connected with all the communities like the Naga, the Pangal, the Manipuri Muslim or the Meitei Muslim, whatever it's called Pangal, and the Kukis, and even the who else? So even all the most of the prominent Maira Paibis also. Okay, that time this must be around 5th, 6th May, like immediately after the violent. Okay, and then we have decided to submit a memorandum. So first we submitted the memorandum to the chief minister that time. Okay, and in that we had asked in our peace we had asked for the peace commission and a judicial commission in our memorandum, and we have like chalked out everything how that peace committee should work. The peace committee should be comprising of 8 members with equal representations of women from both the communities. I mean like the impacted communities, I would rather say, like the Kukis and the Meitei. So 8 members, 4 from the Kuki communities and 4 from the Meitei communities, like both all women. Okay. This peace committee should be comprising of all women members. And and then we had like in that memorandum, in this peace commission, we had asked for this to the chief minister, and we didn't get any response. And then we decided to approach the governor, and that we couldn't meet the governor. Somehow they said, we will give you a date and days that let some of your member from all the community come and meet, and then it was never given us the date to meet the governor. We couldn't meet the governor, and then we waited for some time. It never happened, and then we published our memorandum in the newspaper, in like 2-3 leading newspaper in Manipur. We had publish our memorandum, and then we kind of felt that this is not going to we couldn't do
Go anywhere. Yeah.
yes, we can't do anything. We will not able to do anything. The kind of violence happen every day,
It was beyond
this is,
control.
yes, this was beyond our hand, and we will not able to do anything. So we decided to focus on the displaced people. See, more than the government, at the initial stage, it was the civil society who came forward and helped all these people. From the food to the clothing and everything. Like for some times, lot of places, lot of these relief camps where they haven't received any of the aid that had been provided by the clubs and the local people. So and after some time, I think that also kind of died down. Like people started more focusing on the, like we have to protect our community and each other. Like both the Kuki and the Meitei were like more on, uh,
More
like
focused on
yes, more on fights
the
than on
frontline part of it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Baby Ita, or we always wanted to uh, try to counsel people, and I don't know how, but it when we started, we went with a counselor also, providing psychological counseling to the IDPs. Like when we went for this survey, we got some counselor, and we did this psychological counseling with the IDPs. In many places, there were people who were like very angry, and they were like all the time. They were not trusting people. Us also, they were at some places they didn't even want to talk to us. Like they were very angry that you give us, don't talk to us, give us like guns, and those type of uh, people we had encountered. Those are young people, not small kids and all that. First thing, we don't want people to. First of all, there is no sustainable. What to say? Any sustainable relief provided to the IDPs till now. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, even though they were giving food and all that, but they need to do something. And when we saw all those people, they're like all, first of all, they lost everything. They don't even have their documents. They don't have Aadhaar card, nothing. Lot of them, or many, mostly all of them, they don't have anything. And they're just lying on the bed, like as if like a person without any hope. You need to pull people out. You need to give them hope. So when you have that hope, you don't like indulge in all this revenge and fights, and you become little rational. If you see, I don't know how many relief camp you went, but all of the people, all of them, they don't have, none of them talk about violence. Okay, Grishma, none of them now. So this is one thing which it's a very small.
Can I intervene and ask you how has it come to this? Because like you said, initially
Mm.
everybody, because of the situation that Manipur has been in, because of also having lost homes, they were all talking about, wanting to, get back and wanting, like basically wanting to like you said, this revenge sort of a mode. How did you kind of get them out of it? What did you facilitate? What did ETA do?
See, but nothing. I mean, we just go, like, if you really ask, we go every week. We go every week during that prime time. Okay. And then we used to just talk to them. We provide them whatever they want. We said, we can't give you like fancy things, but if you want to start something, like, for example, this guy wanted to buy a vehicle, a winger,
Hmm.
to run a business. So he needed money. He wanted to buy a second-hand four-wheeler, some wingers. I said, okay, you start. Like that. And I mean, all of them, whoever we come across, they have not asked us any extravagant thing. Whatever livelihood thing they asked, which we provided. I think that kind of build the trust. And then whatever we tell them, this is not the way we need to look forward. Peace should be the first thing. And this is not our job. Let the law enforcement take its own course, right, wrong. You just have to look after your children, your health, your mental peace. So this intervention they kind of heard it and
Constant
started.
counseling and basically them feeling like
Yes,
someone's there to listen to
yes,
them.
yes. So not only just counseling, like we were always there. Like for example, they call me any time of the day. I'm here in US. So some accident happened or someone tried to come in that relief camp where you went in Lysoi. There were two people who tried to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Okay, and then and no, not two, three people died there. So
Yeah.
so then when and then another relief camp, they have some accident, some major accident, and the hospital was not ready to even touch. So that they call us because they know that we will do whatever we could to help them. And so that trust is there. Somehow, I don't know how it built over this, whatever, the 20 months. The government department also, we get a very positive result whenever we go, wherever. We tell them, hey, this place, there is, you need fumigation. There is lot of mosquito breeding. There are people falling sick. You need to do this. And there is lot of all this bathroom is overflowing and it's this thing dirty. I mean, they just do it immediately. We are nobody. We are not connected with any political parties. Nothing. We just go and tell them, and if you are not doing it, we will do it ourselves. So in fact, we had gone with all the spat and all those bleaching powder and all that, and we will do it ourselves if you are not doing it.
Like a group that's kind of, so, like works like a pressure group as well, on the
I
government.
guess
Yeah.
I guess everywhere we go, I mean that kind of it's a very like we get that positive result from them. We just did a survey and submitted to the DC, and then he just told us, "Oh, you start this. I'll give you this much. You buy 20 looms." Okay, that was the loom we started.
Yeah. Yeah. Coming to this looms thing, maybe I mean, can you like share with us a little bit about how it is that you all facilitated that, ma'am, and what is the extent of this weaving option that you've given to people, and how does it work for these people? Are they able to generate some sort of constant income from weaving that they've been at for a while now?
Yeah, definitely, Grishma. Like, see, we started with the 20. Before that, see, our livelihood initiative, the first one was the agarbatti and this bakery item. We gave lot of training. We approached all these entrepreneurs like the Myra Foods and all of them we approached, and they also didn't charge anything from us. Wherever we said this is you have to do if you want, we can provide you the the vehicle to pick you up and all that, but everything we are not going to give you any money. And we conducted lot of training actually, all like training in Manipur is a different story again here. When one give training, the trainee are also given money. Okay, so when we conducted the first training, one of the beneficiary, she asked, "Ki, how much money we are getting?"
Right.
So I said, you have to learn whatever training we are giving, you have to learn, and we will facilitate to, like, for example, if we are giving you training to make Kongna products, all those mat and bags and all that, you learn from that, and then we give you raw material, and so this is another thing. Whatever training we gave, they have to make it. We don't make it waste. So I think even the MSSME, that Manipur Center, the director kind of like our model, because when they come and they did the training for the hair oil, uh, our benefit, the IDPs did produce hair oil. So we did sell this. They sold hair oil, and this Myra food. They did make this pickle, agarbatti, all these things. I mean, they're still continuing making this food item. We stopped because it's a lot of restrictions, and apart from that, like weaving. They started it from Panek. Continuously, they are making. Now they have went to making silk. This thing product which costs like one fanek, that sarong, right, costs around 3,000 rupees. So they, and I even got it here in US, and we sell it in UK and Bangalore. And people buy, and these are all our members. We don't even have to sell it outside. These are all our member who buys it.
Right.
So
So
we
y'all are
just take it.
facilitating, like, sort of creating a market for the products that the displaced people are making, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And
Got it.
so this fire kind of that what we are doing it since the inception of ITA. It's still like uh, you know it's still going, it's passing on like one after, like I did it, then Biju, then Chetoy, and then Chekunjarani. So many people are involved in this. It's not just me. It's like so many people. When they do it, they do it with like full that commitment, and they wanted to do something for the community. That mindset is always there from the starting. Like when it was started on 2019 as an online platform. So everyone, like, we did anything we do, like we don't say we don't have money. The money is never an issue. It's not just about money. Anything, like someone will get the vehicle, someone will say, oh, I have, like, for example, I just sent this thing in our group. We want to conduct a meeting in Manipur, and then someone will say, oh, you please, I will give you the space venue, someone will get the
Right.
food, someone like. So this has been continuing till today. Whatever we are doing, we have that trust, and fortunately that trust has been got into our IDPs also.
Right now also we are in a situation where they're saying it's president's rule. They're saying, like, they're going to work towards normalcy, etc. But it is a reality that, both of us know that right now, even if individuals like you and others might think about bridging this divide between communities, that divide is very strong. How do you want
Correct.
this to eventually kind of, come to a situation where at least the communities interact and talk, and this feeling of, this sort of feeling of hatred, or this feeling of enmity, or of all of these, these emotions that have grown over the last 2 years start subsiding? How do you think it can come to that, where if the state is not facilitating it, if the government is not facilitating it, at least initiatives of people can facilitate it? I know it's very complicated, very difficult, because this is something that we've been talking about for a while now. But what do you foresee, ma'am? How do you see this, some kind of trust building to happen between, the Meiteis and the Cookies?
It will take a long time, but I don't think it's impossible, because I think everyone who lives in Manipur, they are affected with this. It's not just the Meitei or the Kuki.
Right.
So even so at some point, I mean, we all know that how much this violence had taken us back. Like 2 years ago, Manipur was in a different this thing. Now it has gone back to the like how it used to be in the 70s and the 80s.
Hmm.
So I think people has to, we need to like come out from this cycle of revenge and hatred. It has to come out, because there is no other way that all of us, we, if we want a Manipur to be Manipur, like everybody has to work towards it. And at some point they will, and by now I think we all are like, everyone suffered.
Hmm. True.
Everybody suffered. So it has to like, some leaders, somebody did something, but majority of the people, I think, will realize this. It's just a matter of time, and we will not uh, stop. We'll do in a very small way to restore peace in Manipur.
Right.
Both people will realize, and it is up to us. Okay, nobody can do anything. It is the people of Manipur who has to create this. It's me or anyone who lives in Manipur has to do it. I mean, nobody can do it. So people already suffered so much, and I think a lot of people realizes this. It's just that it's just not coming out, and trust has to create by the government. Like people has to send back to their original home. That is the first thing I feel that the government need to do it. Make them feel safe instead of sending them, oh, you are not safe, you gotta go back wherever your more communities are living there. That's not. It shouldn't have been done from the beginning.
Yeah.
And so that, but I think we should, like, first thing is trying to like bring those things back and feel people secure, and then slowly you can work. This cannot go on forever, right? It's just not possible. So
But it'll
whatever
take
the,
time.
yes, it will take time, and but there are people who wants peace also. A lot of people are there whose voice have been strangulated. So
Yeah.
once spark this thing, it will come out. A lot of people are there who want peace. So this is not something impossible.